Hello, I'm back at it again. Another project. I bet you're wondering what that is. It's that. A chip socket. The reason I'm using a chip socket is it's got more than 8 pins on that side and 3 on that side. Or I should say 8 on this one. This is going to go with the 2 connectors that come off a Donkey Kong Jr. board, which are identical to Donkey Kong board, or control panel. And you see what I've done, I've run it over to the gamepad, $5 gamepad. Not all gamepads are created equally, but most of them are pretty good for rapid speed. Not that you need that on Donkey Kong, but like Hyper Olympics and that. Check it out before you go solder everything up. But most games, not a problem with the USB. Oh, George, listen, that white wire shouldn't be there. What I mean is, this is a stock Donkey Kong Nintendo wiring setup, and button A is obviously jump, but button B, I think Space Firebird, yeah, Space Firebird has a second button, so you can run your little, it has like a shield or whatever. Anyhow, I went and followed the diagram, I wasn't paying attention. So I hooked it up to button 2 anyhow. And believe it or not, you see there's only one button here, but I guess they were planning ahead, or maybe it was radar, actually I think radar scope. Anyhow, there's that hole, see? That's where the DK3 board has its hole. See the white wire's there, and what happens is it comes to these 2 connectors, the white wire. So there's no button there, but they had a provision for it, or it was a leftover from radar scope, and they just never bothered to change. They reused the parts, plain and simple. Yeah. So see, there's the 8. This is how you test her out. Okay, you just go to your control panel. I don't know if you know how to do that. I'm sure you do. Settings, control panel, and gamepad, and that's it. That's all she wrote. And which one? No. This one. Yes. Yes? No? No, not that one. Oh, I got some crazy software in there. USB. Okay. Button 1. Now those are start and select, but you will have to reassign them for you know, for player 1, player 2, and up, down, left. Is that really left? I don't know. Let's see. If I'm facing this way, it should be right. Right, left. So up, down, right, left. Look at that! Wired it all up and it worked the first time. I'm going to have to edit all these movies together, but as you can see, I marked that. So you can see there's the 8 pin with the key, and there's the 3 pin with the key. Alright, George. Because there are 3 grounds, 1, 2, 3, this is not necessary in a common ground system. You just need the 1 ground, and if any of these buttons touch ground, that's how it's controlled. They don't have 2 wires, they're not 2 twisty pairs, you know. So you can see there's a loop here and a loop here, which is represented here, loop, loop, and then ground. And so ground's all coming from there, and it's crossed underneath this board. There's tracers. They're joining these up. What was I going to say? Oh, George, when you're putting your plugs in, please be very careful, because those pins are not solid. Believe it or not, they're like a flat piece of metal that's squeezed and rolled, and you can see it by looking at it. So you might have one kind of cockeyed off to the side or whatever, and these can be a little tight. Like I've already plugged them in, but stick it in and kind of wiggle it. You know what I mean? Try to get it straight and just be really gentle about it until it starts to go, and then you can, you know what I'm saying, man? All right. I love doing everything with my video camera. Okay, see, I put the left side on. That's the outside. This goes here. Plugs go in. I put the plugs in before I attached this. Made it a little bit easier. You may want to do that too. Make sure, or you go bottom first, top. Now you see, there's 2 holes drilled out to clear these bolts, and this is what you call it. They call these nut longs. It's a threaded nut that you hammer into the wood, so you can get the bolt through. See, without having to worry about tightening a nut on the inside. A bolt on yeah, nut. Oh, this ground here on my board was actually turned this way, and it was interfering with the underside, so I just loosened that up and I turned it. There's really, to tell you the truth, there's no need for that ground, but they grounded the board somehow. I guess they grounded the clamp as well, so the parts were grounded. Anyhow, so see, it goes like that, right? The 2 bolts clear, no problem because of the holes I made. And then goes on this side. Take a nut and washer, stick it in. The threads have grabbed, yes. I'm doing this with one hand, obviously. Now normally, okay, starting to tighten up. Normally, see this board here? George, it'll cost me over $30 compared to $8 if I just ship you the 2 pieces. Alright? What you do is put this all together, alright, and then rest it on the board. Put it all together. You won't have the wire coming out the back, it'll be going out the front, but put it all together and rest it on the board, whatever board you can come up with, and you know, maybe you can clamp it. See, I screwed it right into my bloody desk. I couldn't give a goddamn. And that way it's secure. So mark it, mark the other side. You know what I mean? You can get a bit of an idea for here, for center. You can mark it here, and then you get your board. Once you got your board marked out like that, screw from the top, since if you don't have a drill, so it comes out the bottom side, right? You know, for all 4 screws, screw from the top so it comes out the bottom side, and then take them back out again. Then you can rest you can start them from underneath maybe, and if you start them from underneath, I drilled mine out, so you can screw them back the other way, so they're just little pointy things in all 4 corners. Once you got the little pointy things, you can stick this down, and you can hammer it down and just hold it, flip it over, start screwing. Start screwing, and that's it. It'll be mounted, and then you can, I don't know what size of piece of wood you get, you can clamp it like that. There is enough clearance under there that you could just set it on the desk without the wood. Alright, and it's even got the nice angle and everything like a normal machine, but it's going to move all over the place. That's why I added wood. So unless you add like 2 small pieces of wood on each end and then clamp them down, you know, then you don't have to do no measure.